This is Mary Collar-Ditta, and I'm looking at how to know God's will, and He reveals it through His Word. And the verses I use are my memory verses, and so they're random. Today is Ezekiel chapter 11, verses 19 and 20. And God is speaking, and Ezekiel is recording this. He says, I will give them one heart, and I will put a new spirit within you, and I will take away the stony heart out of their flesh, and I will give them a heart of flesh, that they may walk in my statutes and keep my ordinances and do them. And they shall be my people, and I will be their God. So, this is God's intent. This is what circumcision is all about. This is what being baptized in faith in Jesus is all about. It all boils down to this one thing, that He is taking a people and making them to be His own. He says, they shall be my people, and I will be their God. So the chosen people are chosen for this reason. And it's Jew and Gentile, male and female, bond and free. It's everyone, high and low, rich and poor. What's God's intent? To give them, it says here, I will give them one heart, and I will put a new spirit within you. I will take away the stony heart out of their flesh, and give them a heart of flesh. Why? So they can walk in my laws and my statutes and in my ordinances and do them. To keep the law of Moses? You think? Is it do this, do that? Don't do this, don't do that. Sacrifice this, don't sacrifice that. It's all about this heart and about a spirit. He circumcises our heart. We have stony hearts. He says, I will take out the stony heart and give them a heart of flesh. A stony heart is cold. That may not be cold towards other people, but it's cold towards God. A stony heart. In the strictest sense, if we think of someone who has a stony heart, they're not compassionate, they're not forgiving, they're not generous, or they might be, but just not towards God. They're stony. And oftentimes, if you have a stony heart, you will be that way towards other people. Not towards those that you might love or that who love you, but in general. Remember, Jesus makes this statement. He says, it's no benefit to love those who love you, for even sinners do the same thing. They love those who love them. They give to those who turn to them. What's another one? But it's to love your enemies, to do good to those who hate you, to bless those who curse you. If you have a heart that does that, you have a heart of flesh, not a stony heart. And it is God who does this, but we have to want it. We have free will. We have to say, Lord, I think sometimes my heart is stony. Give me a circumcised heart, a heart of flesh. And that, circumcision of the heart can be sometimes a painful thing. But it's that circumcision. And he puts a new spirit within you. Remember that Jesus said that in order to be born again, you must be born of the flesh and of the spirit. So we can take that to mean born physically and in the spirit. We have to be born spiritually. I need to be born in my flesh. I need to have a heart of flesh. And I need to have a spirit, the Holy Spirit of God. Do you remember Jesus? I think John the Baptist said, I baptize you with water, but one comes after me who will baptize you with the Holy Spirit and with fire. And I think that the fire is the circumcision of the heart. So, could be tribulation, could be lots of things, but this is God's intent, that we walk in his statutes and keep his commandments. And we are his people, eager to do what is right. Remember, Jesus said that he is preparing a people for himself. What's the rest of it? That will be his own, eager to do good. I think that's Mark 4:20. I only know that because I just read it and studied it. That's his will. It's his will. And we can say, Lord, give me a heart of flesh. Put a new spirit within me. Put your Holy Spirit within me. Baptize me with your Holy Spirit. That's his will. And you cannot pray those things without God doing it, because it is God's will. And if you want his will, you will get his will. It's his promise. We are his people. Then we know him, and he knows us. We'll be his people, and he will be our God. And we will want to do what is right. And it says here, statutes and ordinances. It's not by the works of the law. Remember, Jesus says that he came to fulfill the law so that we would in our heart want to be honest and just, to love our neighbors and as ourselves, and to love our enemies, to forgive. All of the things that he has told us to do. So think about these things, pray about them, and ask the Lord to do these things for you. And then be aware every day, because he is at work in you, preparing for himself a people. And you're one of those people. And I am too. Thanks for listening. Subscribe if you like. Comment if you have something to say.